what has been going on over the last few years is a lot of businesses know that it's difficult to have employees. There's a lot of labor code compliance. There's just a lot of things that are really kind of a headache as a business owner when you have employees. So because of that, staffing agencies have become very popular. And a lot of employers are going to these staffing agencies or these temp service agencies, whatever you want to call them, for your labor needs. And the appeal is, hey, I just have to pay an hourly rate to the agency and I don't have to worry about any of the hassles of having an employee. Well, that has changed. And that is exactly what Assembly Bill 1897 has sought to discourage, is this increasing trend of people just kind of trying to shove off their responsibilities as employers to these staffing agencies. So what does this new law now say? Well, essentially, if you hire contract employees through these staffing agencies or temp agencies, and it doesn't matter what kind of business you are. Before, the statute was limited to various trades, construction, farm, the other ones that were enumerated in that slide that I just read. Now the law says if you hire these contract employees through these staffing agencies, and these staffing agencies do not comply with the labor code by making appropriate withholdings, timely paying wages, paying the appropriate wages, including overtime, fail to have workers' compensation coverage, fail to even now make these withholdings for accrued sick time. That's a new law that I'll be talking about later on. All of those things, if the staffing agency doesn't do that, guess who this new law makes responsible for that? You. So now you have to be very careful, and this is what Labor Code 2810 looks like. I'm not going to bother reading it to you. I just put it up here because you guys can have a link to this when it's all done by going to, I think, the Chamber website, or I'll send it to you if it's not there, just so you have it for your records. But anyway, what this requires business owners to now be mindful of is don't just go to any staffing agency. Don't go to the one with the lowest price. Sometimes the lowest price is lowest price for a reason. They're cutting corners. And I've seen clients get in trouble with this. I've got a case going on right now where that's exactly what happened. They weren't charging enough to really cover the true expense of having employees, and now somebody is looking to make my client responsible for the staffing agency's shortcomings. So make sure your staffing agencies are in fact getting workers' compensation coverage, because if you have that labor employee at your facility and they get hurt, and they go to make their workers' compensation claim through their staffing agency, and they find out there is no coverage, guess who they're going to be looking to for that injury? You, the business owner, even though they're not your employee. And it remains yet to be seen whether your commercial general liability policy that you have for your premises, for your storefront or for your warehouse or whatever it is, that would cover injuries on the property if someone comes in and has a slip and fall or something. Remains to be seen whether those policies are going to cover these types of claims, because typically those policies exclude claims that would be covered by workers' compensation. Make sure your staffing agencies are making payroll contributions and are making the appropriate withholdings. Perhaps you need to have somebody take a look at their books once in a while and audit it if you really are heavily relying on these agencies for your labor needs. And of course, make sure your agencies are timely paying wages and the appropriate amount.